Hey everyone, for this video we're going to cover everything sub D. To get started, let's press the purple tools menu and go down to primitive shapes. Use the pointer finger trigger on the left hand controller to preview the shape, and press the pointer finger trigger on the right hand controller to drop the shape in the environment. Then grab the object with the grab sphere and put it into edit mode. You can adjust the shape with the arrow sliders, and then on the menu, press convert to sub D. Now you notice the menu changes, and when you highlight the object, you can grab faces, vertices, and edit points. You can duplicate out a face by grabbing it and pressing the pointer finger trigger at the same time, and undo your changes with the red undo button. You can delete faces the same way you delete geometry, and there's some more functionality here on the menu. The first one allows you to move faces on a restricted axis. You can either move the face or duplicate it, and have that constrained to the direction the face is already in. With the next option, you can add and select entire edge loops. Now we don't need to have that selected to drop in edge loops, but once we have them dropped in, we can select the entire row, whether it be surfaces or vertices. The entire row will highlight, and then you can hold with the grab sphere and move things around. Below you'll see subdivision level. If we turn that all the way up, our object will be smooth. And if we turn it down, low poly. You can turn subdivision off completely with the on-off button on the left-hand side. And also collapse points. With collapse points turned off, you won't be able to take those edit points and connect them together. Just like with most geometry, you can turn the mirror on and off. And you can also take sub D objects and use the snap function as well. Okay, so we have a cube here, and if we turn smoothing all the way on, visually it comes across as a sphere. And if we turn low poly on, you can see we still have the sphere, but it's rendered low poly. The next thing we want to do is take two sub D objects and connect them together. To do this, put one of the objects in edit mode and double click where the color wheel menu used to be. You'll see the color wheel menu icon has changed to a hammer and a brush. Let's double click that and a menu will float up to you. This menu only pertains to sub D objects. And as you can see here, we have a crease tool, merge tool, cut, and smooth tool. Let's grab the merge tool. So reach out and grab it, then point and trigger select the object you want to merge to. You'll see it changes the same color, and now the edit points on both objects are showing. Now what we can do is delete faces for both of these objects, and then match the edit points up, drag them over to each other, and they'll automatically connect. Now when we turn on subdivision, you'll see it's a single object, and the smoothing applies to all of it. Now we can add edge loops, and grab the edit points and move them around. The next tool is the crease tool. So we have a sub D chair here, can reach out, grab the crease tool, and use it on the vertices. It's also a trigger select to use the tool. You just point it at the edge, use the trigger select, and you get this nice crease applied. On the left hand side we have the smooth tool, so we'll grab that, and you can change the size of it by going up and down on the joystick, just like changing the size of the grab sphere. It's also trigger select, and you'll see that it just smooths out the shape of it. This is also useful for parts of the model where you have edit points clustered together and you want to separate them. And then we have the cut tool. You just point at part of the edge that you want to drop an edit point, click, and then choose a new edge that you want to drop an edit point at. The cut tool is really useful for redirecting the flow of geometry, so I'll do that here. I'll make a new line by dropping in new vertices and delete the old ones. So this chair was made with a sub D primitive, and then I connected it across the mirror plane. If I shift it off the mirror axes, because it's sub D, it will still retain the object mirror plane. Just like with the rest of the geometry in Gravity Sketch, we can turn mirror on and off, and we can also bake the mirror. So once we've baked the object mirror plane and turn mirror back on, you'll see that the entire object is represented on the other side of the mirror plane now. And of course we can take those edit points now and connect them across the mirror plane. And so now when we zoom in, you'll see that those edit points connected to the mirror plane are represented with a black keyhole frame. The nice thing about connecting sub-D objects across the mirror plane is the continuous smooth curve. You'll notice that you don't get this without a lot of manual effort when using NURB surfaces. Now we'll take a look at the grab sphere. So normally the grab sphere has a consistent pool with all the edit points, regardless of the size we scale it to. But when sub-D geometry is in edit mode, we can actually use soft select. Just expand the grab sphere, hold the grab button, without selecting any geometry, and move up and down on the joystick. You'll see that there's two different spheres now, and the distance between them correlates to the relation of pull on the edit points within the sphere. So now if I expand this and grab a corner of the chair and pull it, only the edit points closest to the center of the controller will have the most influence. Another way of using sub-D is with regular surfaces. So we can take this simple surface, sketch it out, put it into edit mode, and convert it to sub-D object. Okay, so now we have this chair. Most of it is made of sub-D and some of it with a stroke tool. And we want to export it. So let's press the blue menu button, go up to the Save tab, and at the bottom of the menu, we have an option to save locally or onto the cloud, which is landing pad. Let's toggle it to the right and save it to landing pad. Now I'll click Export and use OBJ selection. Set this to double-sided, render mesh, and split vertices. Press the blue check mark, then we'll name our chair, and press the blue check mark again. As soon as we press that blue check mark, it's been exported and exists on landing pad. So now let's have a look. So now we're in landing pad, and we can search our object by going over to Filter, Exports, and we can see it represented as a thumbnail here in the window. If we click it, we have a couple options below in this menu. We can download it, view the model with the web viewer, rename it, move, delete it, and then send it to somebody via email as well. If you enjoy these videos, leave a comment, like it, subscribe, share it with a friend, and do let us know what videos you want to see in the future.